Everyone is telling you that Buda and Kyle are the best, most affordable suburbs of Austin right now, and honestly, they aren't wrong. But what they aren't telling you is the reality of property taxes, the brutal truth about I-35 commute, and the hidden cost of buying new construction down here. If you're looking to buy a home in the South Austin, Texas suburbs in 2026, you need to watch this before you make a $600,000 mistake. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Steph Bartone. I'm your go-to real estate agent in the Austin, Texas suburbs. Every single week, I help families just like you relocate to Buda, Kyle, San Marcos, and all the surrounding areas. Today, we are having a reality check, and I'm gonna break down the ugly truth about moving to Buda and Kyle this year, and how you can use them to your advantage to get a massive deal on your next home. The first truth is the property tax shock. If you're moving from California, Colorado, or even a different part of Texas, you might be looking at a $550,000 price tag in Kyle, and you think, wow, that seems like a steal. But here's what you need to know. Texas doesn't have state income taxes, which is amazing and why we are seeing a lot of these states move here. But we do make up for that in property taxes. In Hays County, which covers Buda and Kyle, your combined tax rate is usually between 1.9 and 2.5%. The biggest chunk of that goes to school taxes, almost about 50% of your taxes. And then depending on the subdivision, you have MUD taxes, and you could even have a PID, which is separate from your actual property taxes. The MUD is, and I've spoke about this in other videos, just a quick recap, a MUD is a municipal utility district, and a PID is a public improvement district. Two very different things. One's focused on utilities, one is focused on improving and developing the area. You typically find these in big master plan communities, areas that are being developed, the ones that have like all the amenities like the lazy river, the new roads, the swimming pools, all the big parks and trails. But they can add about an extra 10 to 60 cents per $100 of assessed value to your tax bill. So as MUDs can typically be a little bit cheaper and again, very different from PIDs. PIDs can cost you around $300 to $400 extra a month. You just need to understand these costs before you decide on a particular neighborhood. So how can we beat this? First, absolutely must file your homestead every year, and the moment you move in, change your address on your driver's license to that address so you can file your homestead, and you can save around $1,000 plus per year on your tax bill. It's a huge tax break for primary residents. Second, when you decide to come down here and go house hunting, we will assess all the different taxes in the different neighborhoods to see what makes the most sense. My lender partner always runs numbers prior to seeing these properties so you can understand the tax amount that is going to reflect into your monthly payment, so you fully understand the big picture before we start house hunting. Now, some of the older neighborhoods, the more established neighborhoods, tend to have a lot lower tax bill and a tax rate. So just for instance, if you have a $400,000 house and your tax rate is about 2.5%, you're probably looking between like $9,000 and $11,000 tax bill. So that can be a huge extra cost wrapped into your mortgage payment on a monthly basis. That is wrapped into your monthly mortgage payment every single month. So again, the MUD is built into your tax rate and it's built into that monthly payment, but your PID is not, it's completely separate. But there's different ways that you can make PID payments depending on how long you plan on living there, and we could definitely go over that to try to find the best strategic move if you decide on a neighborhood with a PID. All right, number two is I-35 commute, the reality of the I-35 corridor. So I-35 splits right down the middle and runs through Texas and goes right through Buda and Kyle. If you're in Buda, you're about 15 to 18 minutes from the south end of Austin. It's a Sunday morning, it's 8 in the morning. You could probably get downtown in about 20 to 25 minutes. Now, if it is a Friday afternoon, a Monday afternoon, more than likely, if you work downtown or you're trying to commute home, you're looking at anywhere from about 45 minutes And if you're in the Kyle area, you would definitely look at probably about 45 to 50 minutes, depending on what part of town you live in. But here's why it isn't a deal breaker for most of my clients. First, a lot of people work remote, they work hybrid, maybe they don't work in the downtown Austin area. A lot of them work in the South Austin area, maybe they work in the city of Buda, Kyle, or even down into San Marcos. There's a lot of medical jobs, there's a lot of healthcare jobs, schools, and like I said, remote or hybrid. Maybe you're only going to the office for 2 days a week and it doesn't really reflect on your commute, or it doesn't really bother you that your commute is 45 to 50 minutes either way. They are continuing to improve I-35, but it is probably in reality years down the road before they ever figure out how to widen or fix 35 to make it an easier commute as the city continues to grow. Now there's different ways to commute. You have the 45 toll road that is on the west part of Buda. You can access Mopac. You can also take 130 if you're on the east side, and that kind of wraps you around Austin. And then obviously 35 that brings you right in the center ground. If you're going into downtown, that's obviously probably gonna be your best commute, unless you are on maybe the west part of downtown, or somewhere in that area to where it's not like the center of downtown. Now the good thing is that Buda and Kyle are growing so on a rapid pace that you don't really typically have to go into Austin. It has your HEBs. It's got a third HEB coming, or a second HEB coming into Buda. You have HEB Plus in Kyle. You have your Walmart, you have your Costco, you have all your restaurants and your shopping, and there's a big shopping center on the south end of Austin that you can whip right in pretty easy. And then you've got the huge outlets of San Marcos. So really, in all reality, if you don't want to come into Austin or don't need to come into Austin, you really don't have to, as they continue to develop the Buda and Kyle areas. All right, number 3 is the new construction trap, they call it. Right now, builders are offering in Buda and Kyle some massive incentives, and look, you can get some really great deals in Buda and Kyle, or really anywhere in the suburbs of Austin. They've got $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 off these houses. Whether it's the price, they're covering the closing costs, they're giving you free appliances, they're giving you free blinds, they're giving you like all this stuff for free because there's a mass amount of inventory that they are trying to sell off. And as the market continues to stabilize and build so much new construction, there are lots of deals out there. But I would highly recommend bring your real estate agent in with you. They can represent you, they can help you and guide you through the real estate transaction, because the builder, they represent the seller, that builder. Your real estate agent, like myself, would advocate for you, and they could take $50,000 off the price, but maybe they add it in the lender fees, or they add it somewhere else in the contract. They're adding like 1% fee. I don't even know exactly what they call it. I've seen some different fees that have been built into these contracts, whether that is to the real estate agent or to the client itself. You need to really understand every builder contract is very different. They are about 70 pages long, and you really need to understand what you're being charged. What is the real true cost? Are you really getting a 4.99 interest rate, or is there some like cost being built in somewhere else? So again, I'm not saying this is like to steer you away from new construction. You just need to understand new construction and make sure that you are truly getting the best deal, because there are tons of benefits out there. So is buying a home in Buda or Kyle a bad idea? In fact, you can get a house priced at $400,000 to $500,000 in Buda or Kyle. Kyle tends to be cheaper than Buda because of where it's located. And it can be the same exact house you would get for about $700,000 plus in Austin, and you could get more house, less costs, just 20 to 50 minutes away from Austin, depending on the traffic. All in all, These cities are growing. There are huge opportunities as these cities continue to develop, and I think it is a great time to buy, especially right now as we continue to be in this buyer's market. So if you're looking to make the move to Buda, Kyle, or San Marcos, or anywhere in the Austin area, I would love to help you navigate the market. My contact info is in the description below. It's also on the screen. Give me a call, shoot me a text. I would love to help. Also, there is a free relocation guide if you're just looking for some basic information in the description below. Download it, it's free. If you found this video helpful, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Also, drop a comment on what information would help you make a move here to the Austin, Texas area. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.